Alright, everybody, and welcome back to part 2 of this series, taking it to the 2016 BC Cup Provincials. Now, I'm hoping this looks any bit decent, you guys. I'm filming with my video camera off my TV of another video that I previously posted way back when. So, it's probably brutal, I know. Just trying to get past the potato quality, but this was, again, one of my favorite shows, guys. I feel like this was probably the best I've ever looked on stage. And at the time, I didn't think so, but looking back now, being out of it for so long, I just know, yeah, like this one was it. But this was also the show that kind of gave me a sour taste in my mouth with bodybuilding, kind of got me off of it. A combination of the placings and then also just the feeling of this prep. So this show was 1 month after part 1. Link in the description, by the way, if you haven't seen it yet. So this was 1 month after that, and I just remember competing in that show, giving it my all, and then having to diet for another month, and actually do more cardio and try to maintain my conditioning and stuff. Was just the worst. Like, it was death. And I remember just after that, just not wanting to really compete anymore, and then I only actually did one show after that before I kind of hung up the trunk, so to speak. So this was our junior top 4. As you can see, Nico again from our last competition there, he's back, and then we've got 2 other guys there who qualified in separate shows for this show here. Coming up here, we got my posing routine, and for this one I really took a classic bodybuilding approach. And what's really cool actually is I reached out to Bob Paris, one of the best bodybuilders from the 80s, who was known for some of these classic poses, and I reached out to him before this show, and he actually emailed me back, and he gave me some words of encouragement and stuff like that. So that was kind of my approach for this show, and I love this routine. Just the song choice, just the posing and stuff. This was, I feel like, my best showcasing that I've done on a bodybuilding stage. So here we are at the top 4 pose down here, guys. This was, again, where kind of bodybuilding competitively started to take a downhill approach for me, at least. This was a ton of fun though, and then Nico and I doing a little. I love that our most muscular face down there. Face off, I should say. That doesn't really happen. You don't see that happen a lot nowadays. A lot of fun that we were having on stage there, and but then we get to the placings, and they call out my name for 3rd place. And honestly, guys, like, I wasn't arguing. I would never argue with the first placing because Titus's name was. He was awesome. He was like just peeled to the bone, and yeah, he's a lot shorter than me and stuff like that, but he was just peeled, so I never had any problems with the first place placing. But just hearing my name called out 3rd was such a kind of eye-opener for me, and just in terms of like politics of bodybuilding. I mean, you can just see right here, it's like dad bod versus like someone who actually showed up, like they wanted to compete. I hate to say it, but like that's just the way I saw it. And after that, kind of just had this salty taste in my mouth when it comes to competitions. But be that as it may, I had such a good time at this show. And I mean, it's almost hard to look at whatever the hell I was doing with my hair at the time. I think I tried to do some blonde streaks like Jay Cutler, and that's kind of what it turned out as. But I thought I'd show you guys also some heavyweight footage from the show. I ended up placing 3rd out of the 3 guys here, obviously. So these guys, actually, funny enough, this was the same lineup from the previous show, heavyweights. So I already knew the outcome before it even started, like what was going to happen again. But I had so much fun competing against these guys. Like, they had been competing for longer than I had been alive, or not competing, I should say, training for longer than I've been alive. So like, you can tell just by looking at them, the muscle maturity and everything like that. These were natural shows, guys, so these guys were not enhanced in any way, at least not for the last, whatever amount of years or whatever it was. But I believe that these guys were always natural, and you can just tell like the hard work from their physiques and kind of the way they were able to take it to what it looks like now. So I never expected to beat the two of these guys here, obviously, but just had so much fun and learned a lot of stuff from them too. David in the middle there, him and I competed again actually at Nationals a year later from this. So him and I, I've competed with him 3 out of the 4 shows I've done. So a lot of fun. Really, really good guy. He owns a personal training company actually, and is very successful with that. And then Dana on the far right there, you guys, his side chest is probably like one of the best that I've ever seen. Like, I love that guy's side chest. It's incredible. And what was actually cool about this was 1 month prior at the Kelowna show, David had taken first, and then Dana second, me third. But this time it was David in second and Dana first. So Dana was able to come back sharper this time and ultimately win this competition, which I thought was really cool. So it wasn't just like the exact same placings. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini series here, and I'll see you in the next video.